Should be good.
Alright, so no classes this Thursday, so I will not see you again until Tuesday of next week. And then our next day off will not affect this class, but it'll be at the end of the month. It'll be Wednesday, October 25th. Hub will be open this week, so if you're saying, I'm not doing Alex because I don't have a calculator or don't have internet, Hub will be open this Thursday, so you can come to class. The tutoring room beside the hubs, they do have calculators on the computer and they do have tutoring, so you can come in there and work and knock some stuff out. Wednesday, October 25th, there will be no classes, but the hub will be closed that day. So we don't have classes that day. Now, couple of things in Module 2. I'm going to be doing some Module 2 and Module 3 stuff. Hopefully you're at the end of Module 2. Preferably you're in Module 3. So here are a couple of things I saw today of people having issues with in Module 2. If it says percent increase or percent decrease, it says find the percent of increase or find the percent of decrease. What you're going to do is you're going to subtract over original equals percent over 100. And it actually has it on your formula sheet. Let me get my formula sheet up so I can show you. But it actually has it on your formula sheet. Let's see if I can get it loaded. Come on. Here it is. On your formula sheet where we have been doing the is over of and the part over whole, and I think Ray wanted to see the commission stuff. Where we've been doing that, they don't call it percent of increase or decrease, but right here where it says difference in original, that is what you're going to use when it says percent increase or percent decrease. It's difference over original. I don't use the word difference, I use the word subtract, but when you're doing difference, that's the same thing as subtracting. So my difference is going to be when I do $9.69 minus $9.58. So when I subtract, I'm going to get 11 cents difference. Now, the original is the one that happened first. If this happened today and this happened yesterday, which one happened first? Yesterday. So today is what's happening now. Yesterday is what happened then. So original is the one that happened first. So yesterday is the one that happened first. And we are trying to find the percent. So it's going to be subtract. How much did the price go up or how much did the price go down? So subtract over which one happened first equals percent over 100. Now we're going to do our cross multiplication. So we multiply those two and divide by the loaner. So in my calculator, I'm going to do 0.11 times 100 and then divide by the 9.69. So my answer to the nearest tenth of a percent is going to be 1.1%. So anytime the problem says find the percent of increase or find the percent of decrease, subtract over original, percent over 100. How much did it go up or how much did it go down over which one happened first equals percent over 100. Cool? This is the end of Module 2. The end of Module 2. End of Module 2. Yay! Here's one more. This is another percent decrease, so we're going to do subtract over original equals percent over 100. These are my two prices. So $2.86 minus $2.81. So my subtract is going to be 5 cents. This was today's price. This was yesterday's price. So yesterday's price is going to be the original one. And we're trying to find the percent. So I'm going to cross multiply 0.05 times 100 divided by $2.86. Round to the nearest tenth, What is that gonna be to the nearest tenth? 1.7%. So it doesn't matter if it's an increase or decrease, you're gonna do the same steps. Cool?
So no matter what, it's the same over.
So whether it's an increase or decrease, you're gonna subtract the two and do the one that happened yesterday. That's the original. Now, we talked about this before, but it's coming up again. I equal PRT, I've written it down. These are the things that you're gonna need to memorize. Annually occurs once a year. Semi-annually occurs twice a year. Monthly is 12 times a year. Quarterly is 4 times a year. So you're gonna have to know those. So when I do a compound problem, and y'all, the formula is on your formula sheet. So if I come right here, the formula is out there. You just have to know how to use the formula. So here's my formula. P is how much money you're investing. 1 plus R is your interest rate, but you got to whoop it. So that's going to be 0.039. N is how many times it's compounded. This one is compounded monthly, so what is my N going to be? 12. And notice how I have 2 N's. So I put 12 there and 12 up there. T is my time, so my time is going to be 5. I clean up my double exponent. So do 12 times 5 in my calculator. 12 times 5 is 60. Then I go to my calculator. That's going to be 2,000 parentheses. 1 plus 0.039 divided by 12, close it. Raise it to the 60th power. Oops, I did something wrong. Parentheses, 1 plus 0.039 divided by 12, close it, and raise it to the 60th power. We're talking about money. Money is always 2 places behind the decimal. So because this is money, we have to round it to the second place behind the decimal. So my answer is going to be 2429.85. We good? Yay, nay? All right, let's do another one. So, again, we have the formula. The formula is given to us. It says compound. That's how we know we're using the compound. What do I plug in for P? 4,000. 1 plus. What do I plug in for R?
Appreciate it.
What is my, so what's it going to be?
It's 3.5.
So 0.035. What are my N's going to be?
4.
It's quarterly, so my N's are going to be 4. And how many years? 9. So what I do is I clean that up. 9 times 4 is 36. It just makes it easier for me to type it in the calculator. So I'm going to do 4,000 parentheses 1 plus 0.035 divided by 4, and then raise it to the answer to the double exponent. It is money. So money rounds to 2 places behind the decimal. So 5473, 53. Cool? Now, let's look for a minute at some geometry stuff. Some people are on the struggle bus with this. And it's an okay thing to be on the struggle bus with this. I am going to try to make it as easy as possible. If you look at this as a house, do you see, and y'all, even if you haven't gotten to this yet, you're going to be at this soon. And I'm trying to make your life easy. Do you see if we had an earthquake, these are the 2 roofs. if the earthquake comes, do you see that both of these would fall?
Yeah.
So if this falls and this falls, do you agree that both of these, if they fail, would make 15 feet?
Yeah.
Okay? So, we need to understand that this piece, if it failed, would be 7. And this piece, if it failed, would be 8. So the two baby flat pieces equal to the big flat piece. Do y'all see that? The two baby flats equal the big flat. Now, the same thing is true with the two baby up and downs. If I bring this one over, that's going to be 9. And if I bring this one over,
It's gonna be 5.
because 9 plus 5 give me 14. So that's how we figure out missing sides. This piece is 9, so this piece has to be 5 because 9 plus 5 give me 14. If not, your house would be cattywampus. Are we good? So this has to be 5. So, for this one, if I do flats, do you see that 6 and 10 gave me the 16?
Yeah.
So 9 and 5
I'm gonna give you 14.
is going to give me 14. So the two flats make the big flat. The two up and downs make the big up and down. So this piece is 9. This piece is 5. So if we add those together, that's my missing piece. Cool? Okay. Some people see it and some people don't. You either really get it or you struggle. It's either one end of the spectrum or the other. So for this, all they wanted to know was, what is the missing piece? Now, the next problem is going to be find the perimeter. How do we find perimeter?
Add.
Add of all the sides. What kind of units are perimeter?
It either be inches.
Okay, when I give you a formula sheet, and let me pull it up here. When I give you a formula sheet, I kind of gave them to you in the order they need to be in. So, right, oh, shoot. So, perimeter has plane units. So perimeter is inches, feet, yards, miles, whatever. So the way I remember that, P for plane units, P for perimeter. So perimeter has plane units. Area has square units. Inches squared, feet squared, yards squared, miles squared. The way I remember that, your parents would say, oh, don't step on that area rug. So the area is out in the floor. And if you think about your kitchen floor, there's a bunch of square tiles. So I think of area as floor and there's squares on the floor. So area is square. Then when you get down to volume, volume is going to be cubed. Inches to the third, feet to the third, miles to the third, yards to the third. Okay? How many boxes? Those are cubes. They hold stuff. They're three-dimensional. So, it's to the first power, to the second power, to the third power. I kind of put it in order on the sheet for you. Y'all with me?
Go back up again. Let me see that.
So perimeters to the first, areas to the second, and volumes to the third. It's in order on the sheet. Because they will mark it wrong if you put the wrong units. So we did missing, so this is going to be 5 feet. 14 centimeters. Well, now they want you to find the perimeter. Well, in order to find the perimeter, which means add up, you have to know all the sides. Well, I'm missing a side. So the first thing I have to do is figure out how long is that side.
5.
So do we agree that this piece is 8? So this piece has to be the rest of 13. So this piece has to be 5. So the first thing I had to do was find the missing side, and then I add them all up. So 5 plus 10 plus 13 plus 4 plus 8 plus 6. I don't care where you start as long as you go all the way around and you don't double dip. And your units are going to be plain because perimeter has plain units. So that's a 2-step process. Get your missing side and then add them up. And it even has it right here. Rim means add up the rim. So in this room, the perimeter would be like the black border. Perimeter is like the fence in your backyard, the rim of your backyard. Area is the carpet. So area is the inside, perimeter is the outside, the rim. All right, one more. Are we missing any sides? Yes. What is the side we're missing? How long is it?
4 yards.
It is 4, because 4 plus 5 has to give me the 9. And then in order to get the perimeter, we would add them up. 9 plus 6 plus 5 plus 8 plus 4 plus 14. And my units would be plain because perimeter has plain units. Cool? All right. Now, when you're doing perimeter, it doesn't matter what the shape is. I could give you a funky looking shape. I don't care what the shape is, you're going to add up all the sides. When you're doing area, you have to know the shape. So when I'm doing area has to be one of these shapes. Area has to be one of these shapes. So can y'all see that? That's kind of blurry. Area has to be one of these shapes. So let me explain the shapes to you. A rectangle looks like this, where you have a length and you have a width. A square is when all the sides are equal, so it would be side times side. A parallelogram is like somebody sat on a rectangle. So if I sat on a rectangle, that would be a parallelogram. The base is what it sits on, and the height is straight up and down. You're never going to use the diagonal line. Because if I measured my height like this, I would be 7 feet tall. So when you're doing a parallelogram, they may give you a number on this side, but you never use it. You only use the base and the height. Sometimes they'll tell you the height out here, sometimes they'll tell you the height in here, but your height is always straight up and down. Now, the formula for a triangle. Triangles sometimes look like this, triangles sometimes look like this, triangles sometimes, they have all kinds, sometimes look like this. So the formula for a triangle says 1/2 base times height. Your base is what it sits on. So those would be the bases. Your height, again, is straight up and down. So that would be my height, that would be my height, and that would be my height. So sometimes your height is inside the triangle, sometimes it's outside the triangle, sometimes it's part of the triangle. A trapezoid. Nobody knows what a trapezoid is. It's that funky shape that if it doesn't belong to anything else, it's a trapezoid. A trapezoid, A and B, are the parallel sides. H is your height. Again, you never use the slanted sides. Now, in this chapter, they talk about parallel and perpendicular. Parallel sides are straight up and down, like railroad tracks. Perpendicular are when two lines cross at right angles. Those are perpendicular. This would be neither parallel or perpendicular. They're not railroad tracks, they're not crossing at right angles, they're anything else. Okay? So, if I want to know the area of this shape, I have to find, is it one of these shapes? So y'all, if you look at that, do you see some shapes? What do you see?
Triangle.
I see a triangle, and what else do I see?
Square.
A rectangle or square. So, when y'all look at that, do y'all see that I have a rectangle and a square? So I took the rectangle and I subtracted the triangle. Y'all see that? Rectangle, subtract a triangle. It's not adding, because if it was adding, it would be a rectangle plus a triangle. So what this one is it's a rectangle subtract a triangle. So the formula for a rectangle is length times width. I got that from right there. The formula for a triangle is 1/2 base times height. I got that from right there. And I'm subtracting because I took it away. So let's start with our rectangle. Our rectangle is our outside shape. That's why we started with it first. What is the length and width of my rectangle? 9 times 6. 9 times 6 is 54? You good?
Yeah.
Now let's go to our triangle. Here is my triangle with a 6 and a 2. If you hold your head cattywampus, can you see if I turn it that 2 is my base and 6 is my height? So my base is 2, my height is 6. 2 times 6 is, half of that is,
6.
so the area of the yellow is 54. The area of the triangle is 6. So I go to my calculator and I'm going to do 54 minus 6. 48. And because I'm doing area, what kind of unit should I have?
Square.
Square meters. It looks more intimidating than it is. Let's look at another one. So it's always the outside shape minus the inside shape. So for this one, I have an 8, a 3, a 2, and a 10. What is my outside shape? A triangle. And what is my inside shape? A rectangle. So my triangle formula is this. My rectangle formula is this. And I'm subtracting because if I was adding, y'all, it would look like that. So literally what I did is I have a triangle and I'm taking this rectangle and I'm taking it away. So that's what I'm left with. Okay? So let's start with my rectangle. That's my easier one. What is the length and width of my rectangle? 3 times 2, which is 6. This is a 2 and this is a 3. Yay? Minus, what is the base and the height of my triangle?
You gotta keep turning. Yeah, great.
So if I take that and I turn it,
Yeah.
can you see that 8 is going to be down here and 10 is going to be there? Y'all with me? So it's going to be 1/2 times 8 times 10. What's 8 times 10?
80.
What's half of 80?
40.
So now we're going to do 40 minus 6. What are my units? Well, there it is. It's not that bad. It looks a lot worse than it is. All right, let's do another one. What's my problem gonna be?
Triangle, rectangle.
Triangle minus a rectangle. So my triangle formula minus my rectangle formula. Length times width. Start with the rectangle. What's my length and width of my rectangle?
5.
Now, I'm gonna get you on this one. What's the base of my a triangle?
Oh.
9.
When I did, I add the 51.
The base of my triangle, do you agree is that?
Yes.
So this piece is 3. This piece is 1. And that piece is 5.
I missed the number.
Because y'all told me, here, let me cut. Okay, there's that original triangle. And here's the rectangle that I took out. Now, you told me that this rectangle was 2 tall and 5 wide, correct? So, this has a base that's 3 there and 1 there. You with me? This piece right there that I took out, if it's 5 on the top and it's a rectangle, do you agree that it's also 5 on the bottom?
Yes.
So if I'm going from here to here, I have 3, 5 from the piece I took out and the 1. Because that piece right there is the 5, the 3 and the 1, because that technically is my whole base. You with me? So if I add those up, my base is going to be 9. What is my height going to be?
10.
So 10 times 9 is 90. Half of 90 is 45. 45 minus 10.
Squares.
Let me do one more. This is going to take you on that same concept. Find the area. What's my outside shape?
Rectangle.
Rectangle, my inside shape.
Triangle.
Okay. Formula for rectangles, length times width. Formula for a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Okay. 3 is from here to here. 5 is from here to here. So what is the length and the width of the entire rectangle? 9 times 6, which is 54. Are we good? I did not give you the base and the height of the triangle. But do you agree that if I take that triangle and I turn it that way,
5 would be the base.
do you agree that my base would be here and my height would be here?
Yes.
So tell me, what is the green side?
4.
Because 4 and 5 make 9. What is the blue side?
3.
Because 3 and 3 make 6. So this is a 4, oops, this is a 4 and a 3. So the base is gonna be, I'm already on blue, so let me do 3 there, let me do 4 there. So 4 times 3 is,
12.
half of 12 is,
6.
so we're gonna do a 54 minus a 6. You with me? I didn't put any units on it, but it's gonna be square whatever. Aren't those fun?
It's
All hold on, I'm gonna get some more. Let me go to,
I have a question.
I have an answer.
On the formula sheet, all the units and measures are on there, like, I'll be getting more stuff with like meters,